that is the great thing about writing books as opposed to baking cakes. You know, every time you have a bakery and you're selling people cakes, you still have to bake each of those cakes one at a time, no matter how, you know, mechanized you have the process. Versus if you write a book and it takes off, yeah, there's marketing and there's efforts you have to do and maybe events and things. But for the most part, I love the fact that I'm a little bit, it comes from the sales side, I'm a little bit crazy about each day. I have a huge spreadsheet that I track all my sales by each book and all this kind of stuff. But, you know, I enter all that information every day because it's great and it's motivating to me. And some people it scares them, but for me, it's always been very motivating to kind of see each day, okay, how many books of this did I sell on Amazon? How many audiobooks did I sell? You know, how many did I sell through Ingram Spark and different places to see where are you at? And, oh, you know, all right, I'm a little bit down from where I thought I'd be this month. So maybe I can try to look for some other advertising or different things to do. Or if it starts to take off, that can be really exciting and gonna get you motivated to, you know, work harder and write more books and ride that wave and keep it going. So I think if you look at it like that too, it can be helpful.
Yeah, once you get to the point, I think you and I have both been doing this long enough that once a day is plenty to get the data and then move on and get away from the early stage of I know when I first had my blog up, it was every 5 minutes of anybody else, and then I'd suck up an hour of time I could be doing something far more productive.
Yeah, it can.
Whereas now the numbers are much larger and once a day. And all right, good.
Yeah, and you know, every once in a while you get surprised that the numbers are lower or bigger than you thought they'd be, but it's crazy because most businesses you can't just look every 10 seconds and see. I mean, I guess maybe some you can, but you can get carried away with the fact that yeah, it's almost real time telling me is someone buying these books, and it's a huge novelty when it happens, and you always want it to happen more than it does. But after you get a little bit used to it, I think just for me, for my own personal sanity, you have to try to limit. And I've even been in parts where I say, okay, on the weekends, I'm not going to look at sales numbers. I'm not going to update it on the weekend, or, you know, I'm only going to do it on Fridays. And I haven't been very good at doing that. But I think that in a perfect world, I probably would just say that I'm only going to, because they're still going to be there. If I check it once a week or check it once a day, it's not going to change. It's just a matter of how much am I thinking about it. So you have to find kind of what the right balance for you is so that you keep a clear head about it.
I like to check it first thing in the morning. It motivates me. Either way, because if it was a down day, I can still look at it and say, oh, okay, well, it's a down day, but look how we've done over the week or over the month or over the year, however far out I have to go to feel good about myself. And then I say, all right, people are reading. Let's give them more of what they want, and then I can get my day started properly.
Yeah, and it's pretty incredible. I mean, whether you're selling 2 books a day or 20 books a day, or, you know, someday maybe 200 books a day, you know, and that's a great thing to be able to think that whatever number it is, whether it's on a daily basis or at the end of the month, and this number of people from all over the country or all over the world are reading the books that I wrote, you know, that's pretty amazing. Like we said before, you know, compared to ways that you could do it any other time in the world, and even just the traditional path, you don't usually get that same level of feedback. It's pretty incredible to be able to look and see the impact that you're having.
No, so I see, and for a lot of traditional published authors, you get that royalty statement, and that's how you did for 6 months.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So it's pretty neat.
But it is a temptation that has to be overcome, because I've been there at the early stages of things of, oh my God, I sold 5 books in an hour. I'm Stephen King.
Yeah.
It's been another hour and I've only sold 1. Oh, it's time to despair. Nothing good is ever going to happen to me. And then of course that was early on. So it hurts all the more because you're not going to be doing the numbers you want to be doing that early.
Yeah, I mean, it actually just, you know, briefly, it ties back into what you asked about before about experience with sales, because I think one of the things I learned with sales is that sales by nature is very much a roller coaster. And you're, especially if you have goals and quotas and things, like some days are going to be fantastic and you're riding high, and other days it's just not going to happen the way you think it's going to be. And you have to find a way to keep a little bit of an even keel, to just kind of plug along and regardless of whether it's great or not great, and just keep doing your thing and know what you need to do and keep trying, and, you know, check in every once in a while. But if you get too excited or too down, you're going to be an emotional wreck, and it's not going to work. Whatever you're trying to do or write or sell, it's probably not going to work out that way. So, that takes a little bit of experience of going through that and kind of learning how it is. But I think the sooner you can kind of not get too up or down about it and find, not that you shouldn't be excited, but it can help you a little bit too that way.
That's another nice thing about sales is you learn early on, usually if you have a great month or a great quarter, and then you go and you spend all the money and then the next month or quarter isn't that great. You learn that don't spend every dime that comes in. Let's put some aside because it's you're going to have slow cycles. It's just happened.
Yep. No, definitely.
To other salespeople, never happened to me.
Yeah.